The reason why your home is not selling in this market is for 4 main reasons. And every now and then, the planets align and we get a perfect textbook case study situation, which I'm gonna share with you today on exactly what it takes to sell your house in this crazy market. Normally we have what's called the 3 Ps: pricing, presentation, and promotion. Pricing is very simple. If the property is priced too high, just like anything else in life, people will look, admire, but they won't buy. They'll continue walking. They might window shop, but they're really not buying. They're gonna wait till the property goes on sale before they entertain anything. So if you're priced too high, it simply won't move. Presentation. This is what your house looks like to the person in pictures, video, and in person. Have you ever been catfished before?
I've been catfished!
When you see a video or a photo and the photo looks better than what the thing does actually look like in real life. So you want the photos to look beautiful and professional and tastefully airbrushed, but you don't want them to look too airbrushed, because when people arrive in person on site, they feel like they were catfished and it just doesn't look the same as it does in the photos. Also, when you arrive on site to the property and the property is dirty or it doesn't smell right, these are presentation issues that will limit the potential for a sale. Promotion. This is how your property is promoted amongst all platforms. It's really not enough to be just on the MLS anymore. Your property needs to be promoted on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, Snapchat, the list goes on. I can get hundreds of thousands of views on your property just through Facebook advertising by itself. That, combined with the power of the MLS, is like steroids for your home sale. You need the pricing to be correct, the promotion to be on point, and the presentation to always look its best at all times in order for you to get maximum looks, maximum showings, maximum offers, and maximum dollars into your pocket. The formula is just that simple. It works at 300,000 and 30 million and everything in between. It has never changed. And that is the truth from a real estate marketing expert. But today we have the wild card, and that is the interest rate. How the heck can we overcome the interest rate objection? The fact is, when interest rates go from 3 to 6%, buyers who were super motivated at 3 and 4% are no longer motivated at 5 and 6%. So they get scared back onto the fence. So how do we entice the buyers to come off the fence and back into the market and into your home? I'm going to tell you. But first, let's take a look at a real life case study that we did. One single family home, Port St. Lucie, Florida, $350,000 price range, on the market for about 7 days, 30 showings inside 7 days, 5 offers, and a super fast, strong close. Doesn't that sound like the dream sale for you? Well, you be the judge. This is the property address that we're using for the case study, 709 Southwest Dorchester Street in Port St. Lucie. And as you can see, we closed for $342,000. There was 29 appointments. That's 29 showings. That is probably 60 people that showed up and walked through the door. If you talk about 29 couples that walked through the door. Now, these showings, they started on the day that the property went active. On January 25th, the property was posted on the MLS. And all of these green check marks are people who wanted to see the property, which makes you think, what the heck do we do to make the property so attractive that so many people would want to jump in the door within the first 7 days of listing the property on the market? And as you can see right here on this date, February 2nd is when the property went under contract. Right here, active to under contract. So let's do the fast math, shall we? January 25th, we went active. 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, February 1st, February 2nd. That's 7 days, 29 showings. Of the 29 showings, we had 5 offers. When the 5 offers came through, it was a multiple offer situation. And in the multiple offer situation, we were actually able to bid each offer up against each other in both pricing and in terms. So not only did we get the better price because of multiple offer situation, but we were able to use them against each other to get a stronger offer on the terms. Faster closing, shorter inspection period, stronger loan commitment, things like that. Let's take a look at the competition in the neighborhood. The subject property is located somewhere inside of this box that we're looking at here right now. All of these dots represent a property that is either sold or is currently actively listed for sale. There are 21 of these properties in total. Let's take a look at the list for what it's worth. I want to see exactly how many days on the market. Let's go ahead and stack these from order of descending. That is the most days to the less days. We have properties, 21 properties in the neighborhood in total that have been sitting on the market for some of them as long as 208 days, 187 days, 118 days, 118 days. Wouldn't you prefer that your house sat on the market for less than 100 days, especially if you got the right price? I would think so too. Our house was on the market for 8 days. How does our house sit on the market for 8 days, get 29 showings and 5 offers, where other properties are sitting on the market for over 100 days, some of them still not under contract, like this one right here is not under contract, this one here is not under contract. Do you see this column right here where it says year built? You'll notice that some of these properties are brand new construction, 2023, 2023, 2023. Wow, this keeps getting more interesting, doesn't it? Not only do we have properties that are sitting on the market for a 100 plus days, but we have properties that are sitting on the market for 100 days that are brand new construction that have never been lived in, and every single thing inside that house has never been touched or used. Brand new. Why are they sitting? They're sitting because in order to purchase them, you must have a 6 or 7% interest rate to do so. Wow, that makes you think, shouldn't we do something to try to remove the high interest rate? Shouldn't we do something to incentivize the buyer to make an interest rate go from somewhere around 6, maybe to somewhere around 4 or 5, or maybe even 3%? How do we do that? More on that later. So as you can see, all the way down here, we have more properties that have been sitting on the market for long periods of time. Right here, 8 days on the market. Guess who that is? Well, that's us right there. 8 days, we have a sale. There are some other properties that sold faster. Whoa, look at this guy. 7 days on the market, but he's new construction. And then we have this guy down here, 3 days on the market. Goodness gracious, that's our competitor. That's the guy. That's the guy that actually beat us to the punch. Look at him, 3 days on the market. This guy sat on the market for only 1 day, newer construction. And these other ones in new construction also, 2023, new construction, 0 days on the market. That means that they were priced right, they were presented right, they were promoted right, and they probably had some type of interest rate buy down incentive that was provided to them by the builder. Let's consider exactly how this gets done. Step number 1, you have to meet with a great realtor. Not just any realtor would do. Please contact me and ask me if I know a great realtor in your market. If I can service you myself, I will. Or if you need a referral, I can refer you to somebody who's absolutely phenomenal in your marketplace. That great realtor will sit down with you and consult with you exactly on how to properly market your home for sale. They will cover the 3 Ps. They will also give you a strategy regarding the challenging interest rate environment that we're in. Step number 2, that realtor is going to have a phenomenal lender. Not just any lender, a phenomenal lender, like the #1 lender in the country type of lender that I have. And that phenomenal lender is going to order a pre-appraisal up front before you even list the property for sale. What the pre-appraisal is going to do is it's going to confirm the conversation that you've already had with your realtor of about how much the property really is actually worth based on the comps, that is comparable sales in your neighborhood for similar properties within a period of about 3 months time looking back. The reason why we don't look back a year or a year and a half is because, newsflash, sorry, those high home sale prices are no longer relevant in the current market. It just is what it is. But when you send in a good quality appraiser to do a pre-appraisal, it will confirm the comps, and it will also take away any gray area or guesswork as to what your home is really valued at, as to how much the maximum is that a lender is willing to finance up to. Of course, a cash buyer could always choose to pay more than what the property might be worth or more than what the bank might be willing to lend on. However, the likelihood in this market is not very likely. More so than often, cash buyers are looking for a deal at or just below appraised value, and finance buyers are looking for the same thing. So with a pre-appraisal, we now know what the property's worth. what it likely will sell for, certainly what it will appraise for, and where you should probably list it for sale. Number 3, assuming we've covered the other 3 P's, pricing, presentation, and promotion, step number 3 is to actually calculate a concession towards the buyer's interest rate buy down. Now, I already know what you're thinking. You're probably getting that anxiety feeling like you're giving away money or leaving money on the table. But hear me out. If you, like most people, have held your property for 5, 10, or 15, or even longer, you likely have a tremendous amount of equity built up in the home that you are currently living in. You also may have a substantial amount of known and unforeseen repairs that your home may be due to have done or might be subject to after a buyer does their inspection and anticipates asking you for some of the repair costs. What a wise realtor will do is suggest to you that you upfront offer to the buyer a fixed dollar amount towards the buyer's interest rate buy down in exchange for what would have been repair costs. A very good example and general rule of thumb of this is about 3% of the purchase price. So in our case studies example, we actually used 4%. 4% of $342,000 is just about $14,000. $14,000 given back to the buyer allowed the buyer to get their interest rate from about 6.5% down to about 4%, which also substantially dropped their monthly payment into an affordable threshold, which allowed the seller to go from 0 showings and sitting on the market for 100 days to 29 showings and sitting on the market for only 8 days and getting 5 competitive offers and eventually selling their home and moving on to the next chapter in the story of their life. Don't forget, we're sitting on about 5, 10, or 15 years plus equity in our home anyway. And since you listed the property somewhere near the appraised amount, you know you're getting close to top dollar. And since you anticipated giving some dollars towards repair costs anyway, what you've done now is you've substituted the repair costs and advertised the property for sale with a qualified lower interest rate than the other competitors in your neighborhood. And that's why their property's sitting and this property did not. As of the date of the making of this video, this strategy is working wonderfully in South Florida and many other cities throughout all over the country. I would also submit that this strategy does work too in most markets. It's usually very favorable to aggressively price a property to bring more buyers, to get more offers, which eventually could put more dollars into your pocket. This particular strategy should be weighed on a case-by-case basis, and I highly recommend that you first meet with a top producing realtor to make sure that this strategy would be a good fit for you. To find a realtor like that one, please contact me at the information below. I'd love to connect with you and work with you directly or refer you to somebody within my network that can deliver to you a level of professionalism and service that is truly world-class. Instead of waiting longer for your property to not sell, and instead of continuing to do price point reductions, won't you reach out and contact us today so we can help you turn the pages in the chapter of your life? As always, many blessings.